It is widely thought that as Stormy Daniels took the stand, the witness stand, that she just made a mess of things, disgusting details about the sexual stuff that was just made to drag Donald Trump's name down. It didn't work. We have actual photos of what she really looks like. Frumpy, gross. She's still a OnlyFans person as they try and prop her up as some paragon of virtue, this down-home Louisiana girl. But we're going to hear from Alan Dershowitz, CNN. They all say that Stormy Daniels has destroyed the case. It's terrible. Trump looks fine, but here's the view.
Adult film star Stormy Daniels gave a really detailed testimony. Really detailed testimony about the allegations of sexual encounter with you-know-who. She says she spanked him with a newspaper.
I'm not going to repeat those details. They're so gross and stupid. And really not what this case is about at all. Only the Democrats and only Judge Merchan and Alvin Bragg want to try and smear Trump with this gross private sin, if it happened at all. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TenNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. This is the only Trump case that is going to trial, and it's the one that probably makes him look, make his case the best, makes him look the best, because it is the one that is so ridiculous it never should have been brought to court. Most people agree, even Democrats agree. This is just a scumbag move and an abuse of our justice system.
When they called her up on, did they not know she was going to describe, because she has to prove that this is what happened and this was the intention and blah, blah, blah.
The cross-exam, boy, her responses were disastrous. I mean, do you hate Donald Trump? Yes, of course she does. That's a big deal. When the witness hates the person whose liberty is at stake, that's a big damn deal.
That's CNN saying it's a big deal. And that Stormy Daniels just reveals that it's just hatred. I mean, you'd lie if you hated someone, and she did lie on the stand.
For the umpteenth time, having an affair with Stormy Daniels. This is all about that catch and kill scheme. Everyone remembers that, Ronan Farrow.
What the real thing is. It's not about
sleeping with a porn star. Right. It's about the fact that they paid her as a cover-up, and then they used sort of they pretended that it was a business expense, and it was over the campaign contribution amount.
Because they thought it would affect the election. So it's election interference.
And this is what's super false about the whole thing, why they don't have to even bring up sex. Because Trump doesn't have to have had sex with Stormy Daniels for him to want to sign a non-disclosure agreement or the hush-hush money, whatever. He may want to save his marriage. He may want to protect his business reputation in New York. That he had to necessarily do it to interfere with an election because he was afraid it would cost him an election. That cannot be proven in court unless they have specifics. And the only specifics they have are from Michael Cohen, who is a proven perjurer, liar on the stand. That's his exact status. Here's Alan Dershowitz on why they don't have to ever bring up these sexual details ever, even in court, because it's not about if they had sex.
In case so much information came out that was utterly irrelevant. Let's start with whether they had sex at all. Utterly irrelevant. The only issue is whether she threatened to expose him and whether she extorted him and whether he then paid money to avoid the embarrassment to his family, to his business, to his children.
So this whole trial is giving me the ick. I'm so frustrated that it's the first trial that we're seeing of Trump and potentially the only before the election.
What I do like is how, the judge is all like, hey, respect the court, respect the tradition of the court. And then he goes, okay, now let's bring in our first witness, Stormy Daniels, a porn star. This so disrespects our court system. It's disgusting. It does give me the ick. And it's hilarious because it shows the Democrats are the ones that brought this clown show onto Trump. They're blaming Trump. They did this.
And she's putting out tweets, fantasizing about him being in jail. That really undermines the credibility. The fact that she owes him $500,000. She, by order of a court, owes Donald Trump $500,000 and said, I will never pay him. I will defy a court order. the defense is going to say she's willing to defy a court order. Why? She's not willing to respect an order of a judge. Why is she going to respect this oath she took?
That's a good point by CNN. Why is she going to respect her oath if she won't respect the court order? They're made of the same thing, by the way, or have the same amount of authority. And she's just denying it, going, I'm not going to pay him $500,000. What if Trump told E. Jean Carroll, I'm just not going to pay you? How about no?
But the falsifying business records, that's tough. They have
Why?
some
Why do you
documents.
think it's tough?
He signed some things, but he's going to say, I run an organization with thousands of employees. I make a lot of money. I sign things all the time. The one person that we know of that can confirm it directly is Michael Cohen, who's gone to jail. He's perjured himself and has been discredited this whole trial. I think it's shaky.
Not only Michael Cohen.
Oh, yeah, it's shaky. The View is now split on this. Here's another headline. Bragg prosecutor leading Stormy Daniels' questioning in Trump trial donated to Biden and Democrats, because this is all once again just a giant political ruse that we have to pretend is our justice system.
I don't trust a guy with the nuclear codes who doesn't think to wear a condom.
Joy's only offended that Trump didn't wear a condom. That is she has the worst take in all this whole show. Whoopi has a whopper at the end, though. Stay tuned for that. Hold tight, guys. And don't forget to subscribe. Get me over 500,000 subs.
The other one down in Florida, Cannon, that judge needs to be taken to task because she keeps kicking the can down the road on that whole trial with the documents, which he could have given to any dictator in the world. Yeah. And we're not going to see that case until after he's in office, and then he'll probably just get rid of everybody who disagrees with him.
Big win for Trump. She hates that Aileen Cannon has delayed that whole case till after the election. So good move. Glad to see those liberal tears coming out of Joy Behar. But her take coming up, this is bad.
Evangelicals, I've been away. The evangelicals are doubling down on him. They like him even more than they used to like him. And I was reading today that they cite the Bible for this.
Yes.
They cite the strong men like Salmon. What's his name? Samson.
We know how it ends for Samson, by the way.
You know, anytime The View brings up the Bible, it's time to get out your umbrellas, because a whole lot of doo-doo is coming your way. They do not know what they're talking about. I mean, bless their little hearts that they bring it up at least. But man, they use evangelicals like a bludgeon.
Enjoy that. The Bible, when people want to quote the Bible, that's how they used to keep black people down in the South. They used to quote the Bible all the time.
That's so dumb, by the way. Both sides tried to use the Bible because the Bible was a standard in our country. So you had the abolitionists and the pro-slavery side quoting the Bible, and then it came down to who was most accurate to what the Bible actually says, which in the end, it was the abolitionists, by the way, Christians, evangelical Protestants, quoting the Bible was what ended slavery. Whoopi, you idiot. It was a Christian movement, by the way. Christians reading the Bible and interpreting it properly.
And you would say, well, where does it say that? And know what they would say, but we don't have to tell you, but it's here.
People do not say that. We don't have to tell you, but it's here. I've never heard that argument said, even by really, really bad Christian arguments. I can't tell you where it's at, but it's here. I think she's misinterpreting that Doc and say that like we turn to our faith to fill in the gaps or something, that when we don't know something. It's probably her weird translation of that. But Whoopi, just stay out of theology, trust me.
I can't imagine how the Court of Appeals in New York that reversed the Harvey Weinstein conviction, which was a harder case to reverse, wouldn't reverse this conviction if it got up there.
Yeah, if Trump gets guilty, there's a very high chance this thing gets appealed. So once again, even if he's guilty, and we have all said that, like Judge Juan Merchan and Alvin Bragg and the jury and everything, it only takes one person to hang the jury and let him off. But even if he's found guilty, this thing's going to get appealed.
You know, I just think if you didn't do it, why are you in the court?
Now, that's the worst take. I love that idea. Whoopi, if you're in court, you're guilty. She goes, if you're in the court, if you're innocent, why are you in court? That's the new standard for guilty, Whoopi, who's going to complain that blacks are spend more time, are accused of more stuff than whites, and they're in court, so they're guilty. Whoopi, I don't think you want to say that. I would never say that. It's flat out not true. Presumed innocence, lady. I'm Doug in Exile.